Hey, and welcome to Hold My Popcorn. I'm Max Healy in Nashville, and with us in Boston is Tim Begin. How are you, Timmy?
I'm doing good. You know, no complaints. Just had a lovely dinner, Italian dinner with my wife and her mother, and they're at the Nutcracker. They asked me if I wanted to go, and I told them I would prefer to jump off the Tobin Bridge. Now I'm here doing a podcast with you guys.
I'd rather talk about a 20-year-old movie than go see that.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about Heath Ledger.
And in Baltimore, we have our hyena clit expert himself, Johnny Safari, John Anishak. How are you, John?
Johnny Safari's good. Johnny Safari's on a break from researching animal clitorises for the week, so I'm just sit here with a glass of red wine and just watch Bill scream at Tim for the next 45 minutes. So,
my wife is happy that you're done with that, John. Finish that episode.
There was nothing offensive about it. It was all simple biology.
Only thing Nikki had to say after the episode, she walked out of the room she was in, just looked at me and just went, "A lot of hyena clit talk." Yeah. You never know what's going to happen on any of these episodes. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, John, dude, I don't know if I would describe hyena sex as docking, as being scientific.
Well, the listeners have to understand how the act actually works. And if you understand what the act of docking is, then it makes perfect sense. It's just when you go down that rabbit hole, you do end up like that one, what do you call him, zoological expert, whatever, suing Disney for defamation of character against the species of hyena.
Because
it brings out a lot of passion in me. It did, at least after like 45 minutes of watching videos of hyenas do things to one another.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we spent like 45 minutes on it in the podcast. It kind of makes sense now that you watch 45 minutes of videos on it.
You know, I enjoyed every second of it. I had to go have a cigarette after. So
I was just surprised that there wasn't any mention of like hyena pegging or something like that. We didn't get any of that.
I don't know pegging. Bill, explain to me.
No, thank you. I'd rather not. Please.
All right, well, speaking of Bill in Portland, Maine, we have our great transition by me. What a segue. We've got our squib expert, Bill Dooley, here. How are you, Bill?
God damn it. I thought you were done with this.
In 2022, we will.
All right, I guess.
But it's going to be random. You're not going to know when we are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure like the last time that I was on, I was not called a squib. I don't know. I don't even remember the last time I was on this fucking stupid thing. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm angry now. This is ridiculous. Max, thank you.
You're welcome, Bill. Bill, do you like apples?
No, don't do that.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, apples are fine. Apples are delicious. I particularly like the red Macintosh.
All right,
Granny Smith is all right. It's a little bitter.
Too much. All right, and we got a surprise last-minute appearance as well. Their resident lawyer on retainer, Pike Rebel, is on the show.
You sons of bitches thought I was gone. Fucking can't hold me back. Got a Heath Ledger movie with a bunch of historical inaccuracies in it. Gonna come running for that shit. That's basically all. As I look back at my notes, it's all I saw. Even though I wholly appreciate what this movie is, it's just supposed to be like fun. I was like, look at all the mistakes, mistakes on mistakes. So that's basically all my notes. And so, yeah. That being said, hello, Max.
Hello.
This basically is like a '90s pop rock fusion
music video
set to like. Yeah.
Holy hell, brother.
Medieval times.
Just a lot of, like colored hair that wouldn't exist at that time. Titties are just hanging out. You know, it's like people are just dancing. I was like, no, emphatically not.
Well, we are wrapping up our movies to be thankful for. And this week, it was John's selection as we watched yet another movie from 2001 in A Knight's Tale starring Heath Ledger. So, John, why'd you pick this one?
Because I like to celebrate the movie where Heath got out from underneath Patriot. Was it The Patriot? Just because of the wonderful Jew-hating lead actor in that film that he was able to separate himself with going into this, which was just fantastic. So getting away from that, really got to wash it out of his mouth. And it was the spring off of his entire career. It gave us Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. It gave us Heath as the Joker, and it gave Jarvis for you, Bill, in the Marvel universe. Yeah, Vision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So because of that, great springboard. It was a feel-good movie for the holidays, which I think we all need these days. And yeah, there we are.
We got Pirate the Pete, or Pete the Pirate, too.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I forgot that was his role.
Well, I think more importantly, you get him as the captain in Firefly, the TV series.
Sweet Jesus, Bill, he's not the captain. He's the pilot.
The pilot, whatever. Preble.
You dumb, handsome mother. He's Wash.
John, you just mentioning the Patriot. I just realized that, Tim, you have 2 degrees of separation to Mel Gibson. Right there. You got Heath Ledger, and then your cousin. Bam.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Julia Stiles. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool.
I mean, it feels good. It feels good to be that close to Mel Gibson. What doesn't feel good is John senselessly attacking the man on this podcast for no reason. For no reason. John. We're talking here about Heath Ledger and his wonderful movie The Knight's Tale, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, stab right Mel Gibson in the back. Okay.
I did forget though that he had just come off The Patriot right into this, and this was like the springboard for his entire thing. Everyone realized, like, wow, he's really pretty. When they don't spend an entire 15-minute scene in The Patriot with him with his teeth stained blue because someone put ink in his tea. Like, really? That's not how you use Heath Ledger. But it's got everything. I mean, it's got a rise to glory. It's got romance. It's got like literal medieval sports. It's got rock music, naked Englishmen, and sexy blacksmiths. I mean, what else is there not to like?
Yeah, this was the first time I've seen this movie, and I gotta say, it was a very brisk 2 hours and 12 minutes. Like, the movie goes by pretty quickly. It's very enjoyable.
This was your first time seeing it, Max?
Yeah, I remember the trailers from when this came out, like 20 years ago, and that's why I did not want to watch it, because of, like, they had the Queen music playing in the trailer. I'm just like, fuck this. I'm like, what is this? This looks stupid. Just like really corny.
Bullshit. Max is thinking age 10. He's like,
yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, you stupid shit. But yeah, I did not expect it to be such like a wholesome, like a very wholesome movie in a very disgusting time period.
Oh God! I mean, at least you get to see one person covered in shit walking down the highway, so that was fun.
No black
and no Jewish space lasers. So yeah.
Damn.
Make some kind of Mel Gibson joke there, but I won't. All right, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Movie opens up with the subtitles talking about how jousting became popular with the rich and the poor alike in the 14th century. And we've got a one-over-the-hill champion on his way out while his squire named William is on his way up. And when I say that the over-the-hill champion is on his way out, I mean he's dead. And when I say that William is on his way up, I mean he put on the armor, the knight's armor, just to impersonate him.
What a simpler time of identity theft. All you have to do is just say a person's name.
Then nobody knows. They're like, all right, I believe it. Checks
and that continued until it continued to like the 1970s. Like,
right.
Like you could just walk in like, my name's Bill Dooley.
Okay.
As John. Like I could just be you. I could just smear your name all across Baltimore because everybody in Baltimore would give a shit about anything, but it's fine.
I kind of don't understand the allure of, I mean, why are you trying to like sneak into this? Isn't it kind of like being a gladiator? They're just like happy to have anyone who's willing to ride at each other with horses, so they die when one of them dies.
It's like
is anyone willing to just get like basically splotched in the face with a bunch of wood and potentially just get their brain pierced? Like,
right?
Yeah, just anybody get in here.
Yeah,
it's only one step removed from football. Look, let's face it. I mean, that many headshots, like, you know,
American Gladiator.
Someone running at you that's the size of a horse. Like, yeah, Gladiator, of course.
Fair.
American Gladiator.
You know, the era of martial prowess, and this is how you got hard at the end of the day. Go for it.
So
is this like the 14th century equivalent of like polo, where only rich people are allowed to do it?
Yep.
In a sense,
you had to be of some
a
kind
knight.
of you needed to be a knight in order just to do it. As they
I imagine you need a lot of money to buy armor and horses and have people basically just pay to hang out with you as you travel throughout the countries, just hitting people with sticks. That seems decadent.
Only thing here, though, like it's a medieval story. It's the Canterbury Tales story, and only thing I was kind of expecting there to be some kind of like a posh British man or woman that narrated this and like had like the Canterbury Tale book opening up, or even like Paul Bettany doing it, since he plays a character who wrote the stories. But instead, they just have like just black and white font. Like they just like threw that in the last second before they released the movie.
You just really went into this movie sour, didn't you? My God. Like, it just, this movie's going to fucking suck. I bet you they're going to open up this shitty fucking book and it's going to be the worst book that we all were forced to read in fucking high school.
No, I wanted that to happen.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, all right. So let's see. Where are we?
We're at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Act 1, Scene 1.
Yes.
So, everybody's starving.
I seem to lost my place.
Where are we? We haven't started. Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we'll just get into the the first match here. So William, he gets smashed in the face, but he stays on the horse and he wins the match and the prize money, which leads into a training montage where William and his two buddies, Roland and Watt, are just basically impersonating horses so he can improve his jousting skills.
It just seems like a poor way to practice jousting.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
but
agree.
I'm not an expert jouster, so I don't want to judge too harshly. You know what I mean? Well, I do joust a lot, but it's a different kind of jousting. It usually happens in the corner of like a gym locker room, but I digress.
It's where Tim runs into a wall and sees if his dick can hit the wall first or his head.
Definite head. Stomach, really.
Yeah.
I will say, though, I do love it because they just are like, oh, how many different ways can we practice you being on a horse without you being on a horse? Like, all right, we'll put you in like a cart. Okay, and now we'll put you in a boat. Now we're going to put you in. And I was like, all right, man, why don't we just fucking pick one fucking thing and just do that? They're like stringing, these like little circles for him to put the lance through over like a river. I mean, you guys are spending a lot of like time and energy on something that has nothing fucking to do with jousting, like at all. Clearly.
And as you said, they have a horse. Just practice it on the horse.
That would make sense. If you're going to use the horse, you should probably ride the horse and practice with it.
Yeah.
And I don't care how much 13 silvers is worth. Like the sheer number of lances that they did break in practice must have been all of that.
Yes.
And they also still didn't have enough money to eat. So how did they make it alive, like to the next tournament to actually be able to get some money? 'Cause that's the whole beginning. It's like, we're starving to death. We're peasants. Meh, meh. And we spent it all in broken lances.
Yeah, how did he stay up on that horse after he hadn't eaten in like half a week? It's like they go to go on the horse and would just fallen right back down.
I also love that they have that. Then this movie, lances are like baseball bats. Like you break one, you just go get another.
Yeah.
I'm like, aren't these fucking expensive? You know what I mean? Cutting down like fucking
England.
trees to make these.
Yeah, expensive and probably labor intensive. I mean,
Yeah, right. But there's some guy we never saw who's just constantly making lances in the background. Like, holy shit, you guys! Why don't we cool it with these? Help me out here.
Every time one breaks, he's just
Oh, son of a bitch! All right. Cutting down trees, dragging them back over. It's like, all right.
Also, so Heath Ledger, he is so baby-faced in this movie. Do you think that his beard was fake in the beginning of this?
Oh, I guarantee it was.
Yeah.
It had to have been. Well, that and the
real
dreadlocks
question-
on top of that.
Yeah, the
real question, were those
dreads?
dreads real?
God damn.
Oh, that's how they made it. When they cut the dreadlocks off, they ate the dreadlocks because they've fermented, so they actually have caloric, value. Oh, okay.
They used it as the lances too.
It had to have been. You could see it. You could see like the Elmer's glue kind of like holding onto his chin, for that fucking shitty little wispy beard that he had.
Yeah, that's true. Also, just interestingly enough, I didn't think it's just a fact. He got just smashed in the face with a lance. Like he's dead, right? Like his head is like fucking off his shoulders. like rolling on the ground somewhere in fucking France.
At this point, I just assumed that like Heath Ledger's way of winning in this was going to be like the Homer Simpson episode where he's a boxer, where he just gets bludgeoned to death every single time, but somehow doesn't die and then wins.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah,
I know. I know. This is the Randy Marsh Rocky / and it's just like, who can endure the most pain? It's like, okay.
I was going to make a different Simpsons reference, Bill. Still with Mo, with when they have like the monkey fighting with knives. Just Mo just goes, "Oh, he ain't handsome no more." So let me beat me to the punch with a different Simpsons reference.
And Kid Gruesome, and then eventually Kid Bum.
Oh my God! You killed the original Alfalfa.
Good thing the studio owned him. So,
all right. So then now a clean-cut William, along with his two bros, come across a completely naked Jeffrey Cosser. I'm gonna fuck up all these names. I already fucked up Jousting.
Jeffrey Cosser.
I called it Jesting, I think.
It's Jousting. Yeah, you did call it jesting. We let you slide there. I saw Mike do like his head jerk, but it's okay.
Joust! Yeah, but Paul Bettany, he's just trudging down the road. He offers William a forged nobility paperwork in exchange for shoes, clothes, and food.
Once again, a running theme. I just want to say that I'm glad I'm on the episode every time this happens. Another bare butt. No hair on that butt. What is going on in the Hollywood? Where are the hairy butts? No, that's true.
Especially in this time, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you even get rid of hair in this time, in this day and age? Like, I don't think they invented scissors yet.
You have to literally go get tar and feathered. Yeah.
You just use the blunt end of a sword and just
dry shave.
Tar and feathered clothes, or they just stick their asses in honey and then just rip them out or something like that. I don't know.
But this was Paul's first day of shooting and his first scene. They're like, all right, get out there, take all your clothes off. And he was in front of apparently a whole crowd of extras from Prague down the street. And he's like, all right, take your clothes off, go and walk.
They wanted Drew Carey for this role.
Oh my God.
Like, holy hell.
And they're like, no.
That would have been awful.
Like, all right, well then how about Drew Carey plays another, like they wanted like him for a different role after that. Just the director was just like, no, Drew Carey's not in the movie. It doesn't make sense.
But the Drew Carey show, it's like, nope, no one cares.
Would he have an English accent? No, he'd just talk exactly like Drew Carey from The Mask.
Just pretend like he's from Cleveland.
Drew Carey from The Mask? Is Drew Carey in The Mask?
No.
Shut up, guys.
He is in my movie, The Mask.
In my mind, he is.
You know what I was talking about.
Are you thinking of Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Drew Carey, you've lost some weight.
Again, Tim's constant theme for the past, 4 years, constantly not knowing movies. And just being like,
yeah, Drew Carey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, the guy from Cleveland Rocks and Jazz, you know?
Remember Mimi? Wasn't she great on that show?
Yeah, she with the hair crazy colors and stuff.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah, that's where they got the inspiration for this movie, from Mimi.
Damn right.
Could you imagine Drew being the one naked walking down those jelly rolls, just covered in just horse shit and hay stuck in there? Just every step he takes, you just see the jiggle go up from his leg all the way up his body. Like, that's probably how the director won the argument. It was like, no, Drew's not in this.
Yeah,
absolutely not. We're not going to subject anybody to that.
Paul Bettany. Bettany, right? Or Brittany?
I think it's Bettany. Bettany, yeah.
Yeah, I'm much happier to see him naked than Drew Carey.
Indeed.
You can't have a poor author who's like a fat tub of lard. This is just not going to work.
Right.
Again, me nitpicking, but he's like, oh, don't you all know who I am? I'm a famous writer. It's like fucking 1350, man. These people are fucking illiterate. Yeah. No one can read.
Nobody can
10
read.
people in all of France can read.
It's the Dark
Ages.
Ages.
Like, you don't know who I am? Like, of course you don't. I've got 3 English people in medieval France talking in, it's just like, this is, but we have like these American themes of like, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. I was like, this whole thing is just a mishmash. So no, they can't fucking read. Get out of here.
Was the printing press even invented by this point?
No.
I don't think it was.
No. This was
not
14th century. Yeah. Most of it was just monks shit-faced.
We have illuminated manuscripts with people. Yeah, I was going to say, you have people making these books. It's like Geoffrey Chaucer. First of all, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. No one can read it this time. No one can read.
Guilty, Your Honor. Guilty.
Yeah.
All right, so then we're briefly introduced to Lady Jocelyn, who infatuates William immediately to the extent that William wanders into a church on horseback without realizing it. Smoke show.
Yeah. Could you imagine the equivalent today of just driving into a church?
Yeah, that's basically what it'd be. You'd just be rubbernecking some hottie and just drive straight into a church. Hey, honey, what's your name? Oh, fuck!
Holy hell, look at that smoke show. Jesus Christ.
The body, and then it's like inside the church. There's a cutscene, and the priest is going, "The body of Christ."
Crucifix collapses down onto the car.
Yeah,
great. I love it.
It's projectiles out of the stained glass. All right,
them Duke boys are at it again.
So why is it we never see this actress? And like, I can't think of anything else she's ever been in.
Oh,
she's in that hyper. Yeah, what is it, John? It's like
The Order.
No, it's like 30
like
30 days and 30 nights that I can't jerk 30 off nights, movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just a hyper horny movie. All it is just like for horny teenagers. Like that's what that movie was.
Okay, I'll check
it's
that out.
It's a good question though. It's a good question because like she is super hot. She's a good actress. I mean, she must be awful to work with. That's really the only answer. Or she didn't blow Harvey.
Okay. So something had to have happened that did not involve Harvey. But where the only trivia, when I was looking up trivia, she kept coming up. The only thing that would come up is she would be like, I wish I would have finished school. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, that was it. That's what I found. She had regrets about jumping straight into Hollywood. And it was like, well.
I mean, it worked. It paid off pretty early on. You're in like 2 movies that made like $100 million, like before you turn 21. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
No, she was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. She was in a couple of TV shows. She's doing movies again. I know she had a kid and stopped for a while. I know that.
She also does like music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
she was in like a band or something. I was like, all right.
Yeah, and her
well, she looks like in this movie. She looks like Nikki Sixx straight out of fucking whatever.
Avril Lavigne or something. Yeah, she looks like a punker.
Yeah, well, the big spiked purple hair that happens later. I was like, dude, she's smoking. Ha! After that,
the only thing she was missing in this movie is just having a nose ring. This might as well just do it. Like you have fucking AC/DC playing in this movie. Just give her a nose ring. All right. So then we got William winning one sword fight after another, accompanied by the song "Taking Care of Business." And I'm not joking about that.
I'm sorry. That's a hilarious way of describing this scene. Hey, he fights some guy and taking care of business, playing the background.
This is the least amount of notes I think I've ever written for an episode.
Yeah, there's not much going on. Feel good. Very basic.
That being said, though, why is he good at sword fighting? He's some fucking peasant, he has no skills. We didn't see him fucking fighting people. We saw him riding on a stupid boat as 2 dummies pulled him so he could put a stick through a hole. I didn't see any sword fighting during any of this training montage, but apparently that's the thing he's best at.
I'll take it another step further. He is poor. Where does he get a sword from to practice with? Like, there's no way that he could afford that.
He took it from his dead boss. I think he just literally stole all of his shit from him. But they say like, oh, but like sword fighting is your best sport. He's like, I don't do it. There's no big money in that. And then like they never have any callback to sword fighting again the rest of the movie. They don't even. He doesn't even pick up a sword again the rest of the movie.
I did expect him to like maybe there'd be some big climactic finish where he would sword fight the bad guy or something like that. Like at some point that would happen. Nope.
Yeah, or like, he beats him in the jousting and then he's all like the bad guy's all butthurt about us and then he takes out a sword and then they have a sword fight after. Like, that would make sense. Otherwise, why do they even mention the fact that he's a good swordsman?
Exactly. Why do I care about that he fights well with a sword? Like, what does that have to do with the story? It has nothing, apparently.
Because he's handsome and talented, so everything to like.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is William, which is wonderful.
The last point seems a little wrong, but we can move
You know what? Fuck you, Tim. So just fuck you.
All right, so then we're introduced to Kate, the female blacksmith who fixes William's armor and joins the Willie Thatch crew.
It does sound like a gang of bank robbers from the 1920s.
I just reread. What the fuck did I write down? It's like fumbling over my own words.
Yeah, Kate the blacksmith, who founded, we'll see later, founds Nike back in like the 14th century. So that's kind of cool.
So she looks familiar. If she looks familiar to you, it's because she was Lydia in Breaking Bad. She was like the manic executive who supplies Gus and Walt with all the chemicals to make meth. Huh. It's like super anal with her coffee or her tea or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was about 3.5 feet tall in that one too. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, no, she's a tiny person. Also, she's apparently some kind of genius who's just like, no. I found out a way to make armor that's lighter but stronger in my tiny little, blacksmith, my forge here. And I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. Just fix the armor. Don't become some wizard. You know what I mean? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, do you hate women empowerment? I don't understand.
Bill, I don't know how many times I have to say this, so I'm not going to say it again. Women don't deserve. No, they deserve everything and more. Everything and more. Right? I do love it because then she's like, "Oh, my husband used to. Now he's dead or whatever," and I'm like, "Oh, so you learned how to blacksmith through your husband? That makes sense for the 1300s. Get out of here. Get back to your loom."
No, I don't want to marry you so that you could sire children and have children and make a home for me. I want to teach you my trade and emasculate me completely in this extremely patriarchal time.
Yeah, but don't worry. We have some cool 1970s rock going on, so whatever. Female empowerment, I guess.
Do you want this whole movie set to something that would equally be at home in a 1980s action movie with Kevin Bacon in it? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds great.
Horses and/or an '85 Thunderbird driven. That's what I want this soundtrack to fit with.
That would have been better if they were jousting, and then William at the finale just comes out in a fucking like blue and red Firebird with this stick sticking out.
It's funny you say that because like his symbol at some point, or at least when it's painted on people's faces later in the movie, like is the actual emblem of the Firebird, like back in the day at some point.
It would have been great.
It is. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, whatever. It's all good.
The shield just has like a little slit in the center of it, just to get some get some circulation into the rest of the shield. It's completely pointless. All right, so then we are introduced to the antagonist of the movie, Count Adhemar, who hits on Jocelyn and then teases William in front of everyone. Then they square off with William winning the first 2 rounds, but then Adhemar comes out on top after he smashes William in the face, causing a concussion and a flashback.
This guy is the original douchebag of the early 2000s. Like whenever Rufus, yeah, what a fucking name. Every time he slithers onto a camera frame, I mean, you just know. It's like, oh, here's the asshole. This is great. I love to hate him. I really do love to hate him. I don't remember what else he was in, but I remember he cheats in whatever other movie it is, too, in like some kind of competition.
Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, he's a Nazi.
He's one of the Nazis.
Oh, yeah, he plays a Nazi, so there you go.
Nazi.
So, yeah, he's still pulling it back. A very good Nazi, Matt.
American Nazi. Which is the only thing I think we have left.
Those are good kind of Nazis.
Yeah.
Modern Nazi.
We got a few of those Nazis in Congress.
Yeah. I got one representing my state.
Oh, sorry, guys. I got to do a political one on myself,
They're very fine people, and I don't want to hear shit about it.
On both sides. You're totally right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn right, brother.
Let us move on.
God, but that being said, again, I'm just going to spoil this. He's definitely my favorite character. He's easily the best. Yeah. He's fucking just good at what he does. He goes to war, kills people, comes back, trying to win ladies. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, you
Great
say
curls.
he's good at stuff, but he keeps losing to William. So, or he loses.
Well, obviously,
to
he's some kind
No,
of
Bill, you're wrong,
demigod,
'cause he
Jesus born
won.
again in this holy Christmas time, Bill. So he's perfect. I don't know what to tell you.
Bill, take a gander at
He's also
William
the
and
Joker.
tell me if anyone's going to beat him. Okay, bud?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
He's dead sexy. I'm pretty sure Heath Ledger introduced most women in our generation to like the massaging setting on their shower head.
Heath Ledger also introduced me to lubing with spit in your hand.
Oh, yes.
It's got to be a lot colder for that.
Yeah, 30 minutes in, we needed to make at least one Brokeback joke. Just gonna force it in there.
Yeah, no pun intended. Force it in there. Okay, woo.
Giddy up. So I don't think I've ever told this story on the podcast before about about John and I watching Brokeback. John and our Russian friend Ilya. For the month of February, which is the shortest month, they wrote a contract in actual writing saying that neither one of them would drink for the entire month. And then my idea was, as punishment, if they broke it, they would both have to watch Brokeback Mountain holding hands. And if they stopped holding hands, we'd have to restart the movie. And then they lasted like 8 days.
Yeah, didn't get far.
So
They held hands for 8 days?
No, they held hands for the entire Brokeback movie, though.
Yeah, watching Brokeback Mountain. Now, it was great because we did have a clause where we were allowed like one cigarette break where we could not hold hands. So we burned that real fast. But the best part about it is that all of our friends had to sit there with us holding hands and watch Brokeback Mountain with us to make sure that we were holding hands. So it's like...
Didn't think about that part when I mentioned it.
How am I going to monitor this bet?
But also the weird, so like the girls would just come in and out too. They just like come in just to look and laugh, and then they leave. And it was just a room full of dudes watching Brokeback together.
And I have to say, holding another man's hand, watching that, it gives you a lot of clarity. And I don't think it was a great movie.
It was better than we all thought it would be, though, because the movie ended and we're all like, that wasn't that bad.
Whoa.
Like, especially the ending, like one of the characters, like what happens to them. We're all, I remember watching just being like, oh God, this is heartbreaking now. Like, I'm getting invested in this movie. This was supposed to be a joke.
It definitely touched my heart a lot more than the Passion of Christ. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, moving on. So, also the note later, William, he injures his opponent, Sir Thomas Colville, in the second round, but allows him to retain his honor by doing a ceremonial pass in round 3, which gets Jocelyn all unbothered.
Smoking.
Drew Carrey, smoking.
Oh my God, these jelly rolls.
Smoking, Price is Right.
I bet you he would have been wearing glasses too. Like, even though this would have been in like 1300s.
He would have been wearing the Drew Carey glasses. Yeah. That would have been in his contract for sure. All right. So then we have a medieval improv dance party led by William, accompanied by the song Golden Years by David Bowie.
It was good. It was good. I liked it. No, like, I hate dancing sequences and anything like, fuck that. This was awesome. No, we got to see him sexy dance. Got to have what did they call him? He was like the alien, the Martian, the musical artist. Bowie.
Yeah, Ziggy
Stardust. But no, it worked. It pulled me into something that I usually hate. I don't know. Does everybody else like dancing sequences in movies that aren't like
medieval dancing? Bill just raises his hand.
Yeah. I saw a hand go up.
Hello.
Bill there.
We still do that in Portland.
I enjoyed it. It was Yep, that was nice. Thank you.
And I'm not going to lie, a dancing sequence to a David Bowie song is better than a dancing sequence not to a David Bowie song, but I would still prefer no dancing sequence.
Wrong.
All right, Bill, let's go point by point in this.
This is where we're
I
going
think that led up to this, though, I thought was great because I just made a note to myself as, like, whatever the attractive women, the female interest friend comes over is like, oh, what are you wearing? and they're all like so embarrassed that a girl's talking to them. It's like great to know that grown men are also afraid of girls. Like they've never spoken to one in their lives. And they're all just like, oh, well, I guess green with green. And I was like, this is going so well.
It's a light green.
Humana.
Exactly. A girl. And they just run away.
I do like too during the like when they're like practicing the dance, Watt punches Jeff in the face, and then there's like no additional dialogue. They just like fade to black and they cut back in, and his nose is just clogged with blood.
That was.
All right, so then in the next tournament, everyone learns that Sir Colville is actually Prince Edward. So Adamar withdraws his match, but William doesn't, which earns him more brownie points with the future king.
Dude, and not just the fucking Prince Edward. He was the Black Prince, dude. Just fucking metal. Epic. So cool.
Apparently he never was king. He died before he could even be king.
Yeah, man. Dysentery is a bitch.
Yeah.
Is what I hear.
Yeah.
Kills everybody from, time immemorial until approximately like 1900. Like, okay.
It's the worst way to go. You just shit yourself to death.
Shit yourself to death.
Death.
Woo.
To death.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Good times.
It must be fun for like the first 10 minutes. It's cleansing, and then it's all downhill from there.
And then you're like, wait, where did my spleen go? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
There it is.
I've run out of poop, and now my body's just using my organs. So
It's all coming.
Here's my kidneys. There it goes.
Oh, they're in the toilet. I mean, whoop, there's no toilet. We're in the 1300s.
This is the 1300s.
1300s.
I didn't dig this hole deep enough. Oh, God.
Oh, God. A hole, Bill? Come on, that's 1400s technology.
You use the river.
In the 1300s, you shit in your dinner plate.
You shit in the same water you drink out of. That's what you do. And then you give the rest of your family dysentery.
Yeah.
Also, just fun fact, he takes his helmet off and everybody recognizes who he is. No one would recognize him.
Nope.
There are no fucking photographs in 1300. It's just some fucking guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're also in France. They probably hate this guy. Do you know what I mean?
It's also, Mike, you're right. It's during the 100 Years' War now. So those two, they wouldn't have been hanging out.
Nope.
Oh, man. They would have fucking killing each other.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what? Yeah.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. And I'm like, yeah, God. That's what I kept having to think to myself. I'm like, this is not real life, Mike. This is a film. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Take the helmet off. Oh my God. It's someone we don't recognize.
I'm like, oh my God, he has hair and a full head of teeth.
That's another point. Everybody in this movie would have been missing like all of their teeth.
Oh, they would have been disgusting Cockney people.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Can I fix your shit boots, eh? They'd just be like all those people. Just like, no, go away.
Only every so...
Can I lick your boots?
Every so often, they just throw in like a child, and they just like, the art director must be like, here's what I'll do. I'll put a bunch of black shit on your face. It's like, they're dirty. It's
well,
like,
maybe,
okay.
Maybe that's how they knew that he was royalty. It's like the Monty Python thing. Oh, how do you know he's king? Oh, he's not covered in shit.
Exactly.
He takes a bath every 2 months.
Also, what was up with the cross on his cheek? Like, what was that? Was that a scar? Was it?
Who had a cross on their cheek?
The
Black Prince?
Yeah,
he did. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, he had
it might
something.
be a scar
like a tattoo.
Because he's the Black Prince. I don't know.
Metal.
Battle hardened Black Prince, I guess.
It is.
The cross was upside down.
Oh my God.
It would have been fun to see like a headbanging thing at some point with all the long ass fucking medieval hair in the background. Everyone just
2001. They should have been playing Korn.
Yeah, honestly.
Dude, I loved it.
Instead of the Bowie song, they just have Korn Got the Life instead. They're just doing the little medieval.
No, Creed.
Or Creed, yeah.
Oh, can you take me higher?
Thank God that song wasn't in this movie, because that actually would have been kind of appropriate during all the montage.
To a place where blind men see.
A blind man scene would have been perfect
good.
for the Williams' father, as we find out later.
That's how they
too.
introduced William's father with the Creed song.
No,
And then they start crying. This goes into
my
another
God.
Creed song. With the holes water up on. It's like, what the fuck? 2 Creed songs in a row? Jesus. All right. Yeah. So also, William, he wins the tournament, but he's pissed because he wasn't able to defeat Adamar, so he just takes it out on Jocelyn instead.
Just like a real man.
That's a real 1300s move right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's exactly what would happen in 1300.
You're just a stupid girl.
Yeah, exactly. Really. Just like, all right, good. And again, just preteen angst. Just being like, God, you don't understand me. They run away.
How old was Heath in this? Was he basically a day over puberty at this point? To your comment much earlier about him having the baby face. I mean, he was always very pretty, but
he's 20 or 21 when they filmed this.
My God. And
it's crazy.
He died
at 28.
William Thatcher couldn't have been any older than 14. Otherwise, he would have been married and had 3 or 4 kids. So
yeah, he would have been ancient by this point. The guy who died was 27.
He would be closing in on the average lifespan of any kind of male.
Yes,
in Western Europe at that time. So yeah,
considering how young he was filming this, fun fact: this is part of the trivia shit, but he was banging Heather Graham. She was on set down the street in Prague.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Thumbs up to that.
Yeah, too bad there wasn't that sex tape that couldn't come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
seriously. Also, how intense is back then? That was so that was with Johnny Depp, and that was at his zenith. And yeah, she chose Heath over Johnny Depp.
Oh, for the In Hell movie.
Yeah.
In Hell.
Jack the Ripper movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God. I mean, she made the right choice. I think we can all say the hindsight here coming from
100%.
2021.
Yes.
100%.
Again, good choice.
Yeah. Dead Heath greater than live Johnny Depp, for sure.
Greater than live Johnny Depp selling whatever perfume he's selling now that have wolves in it or something. I see his perfume ad all the time. What the fuck is this?
Does it have real bits of wolf in it?
I hope so.
My bracelets do too.
All I need is the 7th Pirates of the Caribbean. Just give me more Pirates of the Caribbean.
I promise I won't go buy more houses around the world with them.
More wine for Johnny.
Oh,
Johnny needs more wine money.
It's one of that Jesus juice.
Apparently, he has a crippling wine addiction that he spends millions of dollars a year on wine.
Yeah, he has stockpiles around the world where he can just show up in a country. It's yes, bring me my stockpile of wine. And I know what it feels like to freak out. I have 30 bottles of wine in the house. This is out of control. Johnny has 10,000 bottles throughout the world.
You have
ridiculous.
30 bottles of wine in your house?
We did at one point. We're running low right now. We're at about
what is low?
20.
Jesus Christ!
Good God. Some of it we age. Some of it, we'll have, depending. Yeah.
All right.
Bill and Sam are still sharing one beer a night. So every fortnight, excuse me. So, it's a different world out there.
We actually did split a beer tonight.
Hey, way to go, Bill. Can't go too crazy. Can't have a whole beer.
I thought about pouring myself a whiskey for the podcast. I was like, I've already had something to drink though, so that'd be too much.
Come on, Bill, be reasonable. You've only had half a beer, so what are you going to do?
One sip for me, one sip for you, and dump out the rest.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of that.
Swish and spit.
All right, so with the help of his friends, William co-writes a love letter to Jocelyn that is super effective because she then arrives in Paris to see him, where she demands poetry, to which William starts talking about her tits. So she then just flips out and says, well, if you love me so much, you'd purposely lose your stick and horsey match. Which initially gets William pissed off, but he eventually agrees, and then we get a montage of William getting smashed by lances over and over again, while his friends watch in disgust while also dodging shards of splinters. Then Yoko changes her mind and tells William to win every last match for her, which he does. Then they fuck!
I have to say, this is probably the most accurate movie scene in the history of. This is just life. This is just reality. It's like a woman goes, well, if you love me, you'll do this ridiculous thing. And then once you do that ridiculous thing, it's like, why did you do that ridiculous thing? I'm not attracted to you anymore.
Do the opposite now.
Do the opposite now. All right, well, fuck. All right.
Sorry, I know you just dislocated your arm, but you can win now. No, I physically can't. No, it would have only been more perfect if they would have thrown in from that other movie where it's just like, well, what can I do to prove my love to you? Well, it's not that simple. And then comes back around to it. What do you want? It's not that simple.
It really is. You just fucking tell me.
So I suppose that this is
you
like,
answer it.
I just want you to spend time with me, is what she's saying. And it's like, oh, I can't do that. I'm running around trying to knock people off horses. And it's like, okay, well.
I just don't understand why she couldn't take the compliment of her tits. I thought that was a nice thing.
Yeah, but she doesn't really have any. And that's actually what her name. Kate says that too. She's like, she doesn't really have much to make a poem about anyway.
Yeah, they're great.
Take a goddamn compliment.
Yeah, Kate.
She's no Heather Graham, am I right?
I tell you what, she ain't no 2001 Heather Graham.
So that's why Heath was so smiley in this movie, because like every time he got upset, he just got fucked. Like, I mean, just like
it's like Heather Graham. That's it.
Wow.
All right, so then back in London for the final tournament. Are we at the final tournament? Yeah, I guess we're at the final tournament. I guess that last scene I mentioned, like, literally lasted 20 minutes of the movie. So we're in.
There was a lot of flying wood in that scene. Like, it went on for way too long.
Bukkake of flying wood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so much fun to watch it. It was all real jousting too. It was awesome to watch, though.
I guess they used a dummy for when he was just getting smashed over and over
back and forth.
Because like his complete, like his back and his spine just been completely like a Lego character. Like it's not supposed to work like that. All right. Awesome. I'll read this line for the third time. So back in London for the final tournament, where Adamar tells William that he has entered negotiations with Jocelyn's father, and he's going to make her his trophy wife, no matter what.
By literally saying, "I'm going to put her on my mantle."
Yep.
It's like, oh, wow,
correct.
The movie needed this scene though, because they also like mention that Adamar like got kicked off the battlefield for like raping and pillaging too many people in France, but like. To this point, like they needed to raise the stakes because at this point he's just a rival, like that just likes the same girl. He hasn't really done anything wrong.
Right. Agreed.
Fair. Yeah, he's just like a bad. He's just better at jousting than our hero because he's been doing this his whole life. Like,
who is Jocelyn like in this world? Is she like what is her? What do we ever get like an explanation of her family? Why would a count be going for her other than
a lady?
Spike?
So I think she's from some sort of.
Yeah, she's in a noble family.
Yeah.
She is.
She's one of the few that actually isn't even based off of somebody real. Almost everybody in this that's a knight or noble or something is based off of somebody real. Mm-hmm. Way off. The timelines are all fucked up. Like half of them aren't even alive at the same time. But she's like the only one where it's just like, well, she's hot.
She is hot.
Really all I needed.
Yeah.
Good enough for you?
Couple of things here.
Like it.
Yeah, we're good. We're in agreement. Okay, moving on. Good board meeting, everybody.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the second part of the agenda. Okay, here it is. Here's the second part of the agenda. I'm a big fan of this like Formula One style like jousting circuit that they have. That's totally just bullshit because it's like
they built it into the cities.
To move the jousting circuit from some bumfuck place in France to another bumfuck place in France to Paris to London, that would take 80 fucking years to do that once in this time period.
Yeah.
You know?
They make it seem like they're just like, oh, like Rouen and like France is like this, like the size of, I don't know, like San Marino. It's like, okay, like the tiniest country you can imagine. It's like, no, man, like to move everything, like you're on horses. You can travel like 3 miles a day. Like, get out of here. No one's traveling like this.
Yeah.
And that's if you're not murdered by some like band of marauders on the road.
Because it's the 100
Again,
years
in the midst of the 100 Years' War.
Yeah.
Right.
And no one's getting murdered here. Yeah, well.
In between two black plagues.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Also,
like,
good.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
But hey,
it's like
the World Championships.
It's like also they would just be showing up in England. You know what I mean? They're just like showing up on English shores. They're gonna think it's like a fucking invasion. It's not like they have email to just write, "Hey, we're gonna be stopping by England."
FYI.
Yeah.
Taking the private jet over to England for a day or two.
Exactly.
Second
Taking
thing.
the PJ. Good.
Point 3 on the
thing.
agenda. Okay.
World was a lot better when you could negotiate brides. You know what I mean? when you walked in, it's like the collective bargaining agreement. The MLB and the players union are coming in. You know, like we walk in. This is my offer. No. She's worth a lot more than that.
And as we know from Major League Baseball, that always works. It is a perfect system. Oh, we're in the middle of a 2-year pandemic. We want more money.
No.
That's for another day. In another text chain that John's not on because he doesn't need to listen to us bitch about Major League Baseball strikes.
Nope.
Also fair.
You come talk to me when you find something that has a bigger clitoris than a fucking female hyena. Okay.
Is it the size of a baseball bat? I don't want to hear it.
Nope.
All right. So after Dave wins, William goes back to his Cheapside neighborhood and has an emotional reunion with his now blind dad. But sadly, this reunion is ruined when Adamar stalks William and then he rats him out to the authorities.
God.
Fucking French bastard. Of course he would
I
do
know.
this. And also, did no
What a
one think that it was
fucking thing.
odd that he was running around the slums too? Couldn't he have turned around and been like, no, well, you're not a noble person.
You're a witch,
You
too.
creeped on me in the slums. Yeah, like, what the fuck?
That was exactly my thought when I saw this. I'm like, this is such a French fucking move. Like, this is such a French. You can't actually win fair and square. So you're gonna chattel on people. You fucking pieces of shit.
And this is the first of like a 2-pronged effort to fuck him over, as we'll see in like another 30 seconds. But what the fuck?
Well, what evidence did he provide that could refute Chaucer's forged documents?
They jumped
Nothing
really
other than
fast.
the fact that he's like a
Yeah.
nobleman.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm a rich white man. Just do
Yeah.
what I tell you. Okay.
Do what I say.
Yeah, I basically
Just
think it's
little-
like he has better connections. So
Yeah. Also, the actor playing the dad, fantastic crier. Because from now until the end of the movie, he's only crying, and he's doing a very good job at it.
Do you think they had to give him a bottle of water after every shot? Like, here, you got to rehydrate, buddy. Like, you're just leaking.
Thank you. I can stay in act. I can stay in my character.
All right, George, we want
was
you to have a serious scene here, and then you're going to be laughing. No, I do one thing, and I do one thing good. I cry.
I'm sorry. Was the middle name on my birth certificate Sirius or Laugher? No, it wasn't. It was Crier. It was George Crier. George Crier Mason.
Just starts getting more and more emotional as he goes on. You see these crocodile tears? These are the biggest in the biz. You don't hire me to laugh. You hire me to cry.
You hired Drew Carey to laugh.
Yeah, so everyone tells William that he needs to run in order to avoid punishment, but the stubborn William refuses, saying that he's a knight, which he isn't, so he gets arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He says it 3 times, too. I'm a knight. Everyone's like, Will, you're not. Just, fuck.
Get out of my time, please.
I went to night school.
It would have been great if this turned out he just loses his mind and starts believing he actually is of noble birth, and just that's the twist at the end of the movie.
I went on the
Crusades. Much darker film.
I found the Holy Grail. That was me.
It's really just a comment on dissociative personality disorder.
Well, I really liked this Night Tale until it took a real turn for the worst when they just broke out their little speaking circle and just all talked about their feelings and their depressive disorders. The last half hour of the movie, I just didn't know what was going on.
It's been a rough morning for William. Just don't talk to him. He's going through an episode right now. All right, so the next day, William's on the stocks getting pelted with cabbage, and right as the mob's about to lose control, old Prince Edward uncloaks himself to the crowd and proclaims William a knight.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand. This is a thing in movies, and I'm fine with it. It is what it is. But these people would love him more to learn that he was just a commoner and rose up and defeated all these people and stuff like that. Just because he got caught, they wouldn't be pelting him with cabbage. I don't know. That's foolish.
They're also starving. It's like, wait a minute. All you poor people are throwing all your poor hungry people are throwing food at this other poor person.
This other poor person who beat the rich people at their own game.
Yes.
Correct.
And yet this
It's literally Robin Hood.
Well, fun fact are two things. Fun fact is the little kid that walks up and smacks him on his head.
Yeah.
That's the same kid that's like
waving
losing his shit and like giving him the thumbs up and everything when he's coming into the city with everybody.
And then he's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Second thing, fucking Prince Edward pulling this shit out of his ass because, yes, he has the power to knight him, but he has to explain to everybody that, yes, my very fancy scribes found that he is part of an ancient noble lineage. It's like bullshit. So he's
a prince. He can just knight people.
Well, so it's basically just he got the count got one-upped by a prince. It's one white guy who's higher up than the other white guy. His words swayed more.
Pecking order right there.
Yeah.
But James Purefoy, he looked good once he threw off that fucking just like black metal robe and then has his big old fucking fuzzy coat and shit with his big dick fucking swinging claymore that he just like keeps in his pocket. Like, dude, I mean, he looked so good. This guy could show up in movies for like 60 seconds and steal a stage, and you're like, yeah.
I wanted that coat, man.
Dude, for real, right?
Big pimp.
Incredibly comfortable.
It does look very
Good
comfortable.
God.
I'm making a pledge. I'm only going to be covered in dead animals by the middle of this year. I'm going to turn my entire wardrobe into dead animals.
Wait, what else do you guys wear? I don't understand.
Bill, we're not all from Maine.
Sorry, I don't understand cultural differences sometimes, guys. I don't know what clothing you guys have if it's not dead pelt.
Bill, I have a serious, unrelated question here for you, though.
Oh, please. I look forward to this.
Did you take your notes with a quill on papyrus for this?
Of course not. Don't be ridiculous, John. It's my Dixon Ticonderoga #2.
Oh, okay.
A pad of paper. Just regular stuff.
Sheepskin.
Okay. Just
I've been spending the last several
We're not savages up here.
I do have ink and a quill.
Ink? What kind of money? I don't have that kind of money. Ink money. Get out of here.
It's the
Winter recession.
sheep's rib bone and my own blood.
You have any idea what the markup is on inks and quills right now?
Inflation through the roof.
Fucking supply
Ink
chain.
market's going to fucking shit.
King George is taxing the shit out of us. Bill, people in Maine still think that this is 1776?
Sorry, do years advance?
No. I don't want to.
I didn't think so.
No, they're all British loyalists still.
Tories. Whigs? Tories.
Tories. I think Tories.
Tories.
Yeah, Whigs, that was an American party.
The Whig Party.
Yeah, the Whigs.
Yeah.
I think a Whig was who beat someone to death on the Senate floor.
Let's bring those guys back.
It'd be fun.
We're getting there.
And say, you just wait, Bill.
I mean, basically, I think what the Whig Party was at the end is basically what all right-wingers are right now. So
Yeah. I don't know. We could throw a little bit of the British Parliament into it, where it's like a 3-drink minimum just to get in through the door, just to see what happens. Because they're great. They just scream at each other. It's fun. Anyways.
Bob Williams. Oh, fuck off!
Oh, fuck off! Someone please remove Mrs. Thatcher from the room.
All right, so then we get the final showdown with Adamar versus William, where Adamar wins the first 2 rounds after he cheats with a sharpened lance, which means that William needs to knock his enemy off the horse. So we get yet another slow-motion climactic finale, where the good guy beats the bad guy. Then Adamar has a weird vision of all the good guys just talking shit to him.
That was kind of fun. I didn't understand, why he was like hovering above the ground for that vision. That was an odd choice as far as cinematography, but I just wanted to take a moment to focus on his lance being like literally the big black like fist dildo that you see at Hustler.
It's that, or
Did
I
anyone
was thinking Biff. Like, I was thinking Biff in Back to the Future 2 is Kane. Knock, knock, who's home? Anybody home?
John, I got to second you on the dildo. I thought of Me, Myself, and Irene, the big fist dildo that they have in that scene with Drew Carey.
Oh my God! I know.
Drew Carey.
That wasn't for me. That was for you. What?
You shoved it up your own ass. Throws it.
Now, granted, you could probably joust with one of those things. You could beat someone to death. You could defend your home with one of those big fist cocks. Like it's
that's a modern
sizable.
version. Yeah, it's you're in a Redbird with a big huge dildo and you're smacking somebody on the street with it, and then you just crash into a church. This is reenacting the Knight's Tale for the 21st century. Sir, your alcohol level is 0.27.
So you need to leave.
No,
you understand.
Is that bad?
Sir, you're like 3 times over the legal limit.
I don't know how you're alive right now. You shouldn't be breathing. All right, so then the movie ends with Jeff saying that he should write this story down, and then the two lovebirds kissed to AC/DC's "Shook Me All Night Long."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Some of the music choices were interesting.
It was a fun tie-in. I had to look it up because I didn't understand it either. I remember being kind of hyped about it as a kid because I was like, oh, the music doesn't suck. It's not just like, diddle-ding, 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 you know, like there's not a bunch of minstrels running around and shit. And I was like, that's cool. But the director was like, no, I wanted to show how people back in the 1300s would enjoy music the same way that we enjoy our music today. Like,
I would say that's not a bad explanation.
Okay. But everything you read, it's him constantly having to explain himself because everyone tore his ass apart for this movie. They're like, so none of the timelines are right. Jeffrey Chaucer wasn't a degenerate gambler. And he's like, well, Jeffrey Chaucer, this was actually supposedly set the year where historians don't have any records of his whereabouts. Holy, if there was ever a time to call a nerd alert, it's on the fucking director for this. It's like, and he didn't even put these facts and details into the movie.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that the movie didn't need those facts and details. His response should have just been like, did you watch the movie? Was it fun? Go fuck yourself. Like, that's kind of the extent of it.
Did you enjoy
Was
yourself?
Shannon hot? Yes.
Did you forget that you were in a movie theater? Then shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, you mean that people back then didn't bang to "They Shook Me All Night Long" by AC/DC? Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah. I was really going for a documentary here. I feel foolish now.
Yeah.
Funny enough, too, the director of this movie is an Oscar-winning screenwriter.
Oh, what did he win for?
L.A. Confidential.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So he writes for like dark-ass movies. So this was his part. Like, this was therapy for him.
I'm going to list some of the things that he's written. It's an interesting smorgasbord. So his first thing was A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, which is honestly probably one of the best Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's pretty fucking good. Highway to Hell. I don't know what the fuck that is. LA Confidential, Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson. Payback with Mel Gibson. And then he did The Knight's Tale. But then he wrote Mystic River, which is great.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That won an Oscar, too.
He's a dark dude.
Yeah, I gotta jump in here and take an issue right with something, Max. So I've seen a lot of questionable eyes when you're talking about the movie, and you're listing off things like, I can't believe this guy did something good. Did you not like this movie?
I did like this movie.
Okay, all right.
I said that.
Right.
Bill, he's a fucking liar.
You said you liked it, but then every kind of it doesn't really sound like you think too highly of it.
Bill, this is called content creation, okay? I'm just trying to stimulate some conversations. I'm trying to get
point
some
by
people.
point here, boys.
If the audience listens closely, you can hear Max's pulse rate accelerate as he gets angrier and angrier.
Well, then don't invite me on the show, Max. That's your fault. I'm here. Get used to it.
I don't believe you, Bill.
Oh, God. Maybe I'm not here.
Get used to me coming on and then saying I can't because I need to watch my fucking kids.
I do have to, speaking of the kids, I have to say I'm impressed that you have one earmuff off of the headphones so that way you can just hear if something's going down.
That's correct.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
That is one father in a group of 4 other men who don't have any kids.
Yeah, just degenerates. Yeah.
That we know of.
Asterisks.
If any woman sat in a cab seat after me, you never know how that stuff works.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. So also,
Capillary action. Yeah.
So did you guys watch the end credit scene?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just by chance, I just fast forwarded just to see if they had one. And it's just all of William's friends drinking a beer and having a farting contest to see who has to buy the next round. And that's it.
And a point in the director's favor is he fought the film company to keep this in.
We need
Tooth
the
and nail.
farting contest.
We have to have
What a
it.
weird thing
You don't
to
understand.
argue
I'm
about.
marketing this to middle schoolers. Like the towers just fell. Like we have to put it in there. You know.
This country needs the farting contest. God. Okay, time for trivia. John, take it away.
Okay, so speaking of the director, Heath actually knocked one of the director's teeth out with a broomstick while working through jousting techniques with him.
Hey.
So that's kind of fun. Also, all of the jousting was real. They tried CGI because they were like, this is super fucking dangerous. And everyone's like, how you think? And it just looks so bad that they said, no, we're doing it for real. They brought in like a jousting instructor from fucking Las Vegas. Of course, that's where they are. And had all the stunt people doing this. And then Heath was talking about it in an interview. And he goes, yeah, he was like, one of my first days, like one of the stunt guys got hit by a lance in the head and it ripped his jaw back to where he had to get 15 stitches.
Holy
so whatever
shit.
it looks like where you get hit and you have to get stitches on your jaw just to fix it back up. And then apparently it happened to him again when he came back onto
The
set.
same guy?
Same guy.
No.
So like this shit was
Just don't-
fucking, it was intense.
Just don't be like, if that happens to you once, just count your lucky stars.
I gotta
right,
imagine if there was somebody. He came back on set and he's like, I don't know, I don't think I should do this. And somebody's like, you got to get back up on that horse. You're gonna get scared. You're never gonna go and do it if you don't do it now. Got to do it. The guy's jaw gets ripped in half. He's just, that wasn't me. I didn't say anything.
Hopefully he has some concussion and doesn't remember this. That makes that makes it even more impressive for the fact that all these people who were doing the jousting back in the day were also like inbred incestual fucking Brits who probably barely had chins and jaws to begin with.
True.
It's pretty impressive.
That's why they're so good at it.
True.
They didn't have a chin to get ripped off.
Well, also, like if you look back to the very, if you look back to the very first scene where they're like introducing the movie, and then like two guys just run like full force into each other, like whoever got hit in that apparently got knocked the fuck out, and they kept it in. So that was cool. But all of the lances were hollow, so they would break super easy, and everything was blunted. But to give the splinter effects, they were really into the splinter effects. They stuffed them full of dry linguine. So most of the splinters you see are just pasta.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
I read something about that. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like, okay. I mean, they know how to make special effects work. And like, honestly, yeah, fuck CGI. Like, we'll fix the problem
It's
with
always
carbs.
going to be better.
It's
It's
okay.
practical.
No, I love some of the practical effects solutions. Anywhere else in your life, anywhere, I don't care where it is, anywhere else in your life, some of those solutions are you just laugh someone out of the room. They're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stuff it full of dry linguine.
Listen, I'm an engineer. I know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about? Stuff it full of dry linguine.
Tim,
In the movie world?
I don't think this bridge is going to work. How about we put some linguine on it? What do you think?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's totally made of dry linguine.
It's hollow and made of linguine.
Yeah. How could it not work?
Structural
Toughest
integrity.
stuff on earth.
Yeah, we really need that.
And even if it does break, wouldn't it look great when it explodes? There's linguine everywhere. Oh, God.
It's a win-win.
Meanwhile, in Hollywood, they're like, great idea. Dry linguine. Get this guy. This guy's the new head of special effects.
I was just hungry. I meant to say lumbar wood, but I don't know. I guess it works.
All right, let's see. So the director fought to have the entire set flown into Czechoslovakia 2 weeks early basically under the guise of just going, like, everyone has to go over to the script for 2 weeks. We need to build camaraderie and a whole thing. They didn't go over the script. They didn't do any of that. They all just got shit-faced and partied for 2 weeks. And like, therefore, the cast loved one another. Everybody was like best friends. Like, there weren't any big fucking problems, but everyone just got shit-faced and continued to be shit-faced through most of this too, it seems.
I feel like that easily could have gone the other way. Like, 2 weeks of getting shit-faced together, you end up like having feuds, immense like hatred of people.
But like, honestly, how else are you going to get a bunch of like just like pompous Brits to like bond with one another? Like, let's go drop them in a foreign country where they're the only English speakers around. Like, they're going to band up. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And they introduce a lot of beer. So they did it well too. It's like they do beer really well in Prague. It's not like, oh, we sent them to Bordeaux and they're all like, what the fuck is this?
That's where Pilsner came from.
That kind of sounds like how colonies are started.
Just drop some Brits into a foreign country and get them drunk.
Get them drunk, yeah. That's like how colonies are started, man.
It's a recipe for imperialism.
Yeah. 200 years later. Well, I suppose you could have your country back. But it was really just a drunken joke between me and old Polly.
Of course, we need to keep our religion. Yours is just barbaric.
Yeah. Hey, do you mind if we draw some portals that are going to be terribly problematic 100 years from now?
Let's see. Paul Bettany, he got fucking laryngitis from screaming so much, so that's fun.
Great hype man in this movie.
He was fucking amazing. Yes, the Herald.
The Herald. Apparently, I guess the director really fought for him too. Like, they did not want him in this movie because I guess he was playing a character on a BBC TV show at the time who was like a psychopathic criminal, and they're like, we're not having this guy in this movie. We want Drew Carey.
Yeah, we want Drew Carey. Yeah, we know best.
Drew or bust.
Bust on those jelly rolls. So once again, a lot of the extras were just folks off the street in Prague, so they didn't understand English. So like, remember the sword duel at the very beginning, and Jeffrey comes in and he gives like the big monologue after he just like won the whole fucking thing, and he's like, yes, and I give you Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein, and everyone's like, and then like the one guy in the back's like, and everyone starts laughing. That was totally real. No one spoke English, so they didn't know if they were supposed to clap or like freak out or anything. So they kept it in. It was a complete blooper, and they just kept the whole thing in.
Hilarious. That's like one of my favorite scenes. I love that.
I still remember that from the trailer back in the day too, and that makes more sense why they put it in there, just because it was just so organic.
It's just cool. Sometimes, man, you can't pay for this kind of shit, man. Last piece. So you got the Nike swoosh that was on the carbon steel armor or whatever. They had to go to Nike to ask permission to do this, and Nike said like, yeah, that's fine. Didn't you know that one of the founders' last names was Knight? What?
That's cool.
So yeah. So, but that's all I got. Once again, just not to put an underline or to highlight this too much, but Heath was banging Heather Graham during the entire
Wait, though. You're telling me that they went and asked Nike for permission. Nike didn't pay for the free advertising they got in this movie?
I don't know about any kind of agreement other than they said they were like, go for it. Whether or not there was money exchanged or anything, but apparently that was kind of a big deal. Oh, but the other piece to that is the director and everybody didn't realize that this one of the founders or the founder, whoever's last name was Knight. So like one of the executives from Nike were like, didn't you know that? Like, what the fuck, man?
Who would know that?
Okay.
So yeah, but that's all we got. That's all we got.
Well done. All right, box office game. How much this movie cost? How much did it make?
I'm going to say it cost. I'm factoring in what you just said about flying the set over for 2 weeks and getting drunk. I think it cost $99 million to make, and I think it made $380 million.
I was right in the same mindset with you, Tim, but I'm going to bump that up to $110 million to factor in all the linguine. But I'm going to say this probably only made like $150 million. I feel like it didn't do well.
I know the answer, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I know too.
Okay. Yeah. So it cost $65 million, and it made $117 million.
It did not do well.
Did okay.
I mean, almost.
Yeah, it made a profit, but
so I just pulled this up too. I guess the number one movie that year was Harry Potter, which we mentioned before. That made $288 million. Like, just the box office numbers have just completely changed in the past 20 years. So, like, the last the last two Harry Potter movies made like $1 billion each. It's crazy,
right?
But it opened at number 2 on the weekend of May 11th, 2001. Any guesses as far as what number 1 was that week? We have.
I knew this yesterday.
So here's a hint. So we have not covered this movie, but we have covered the first movie. This is a sequel to a movie that we covered. Here's another hint. In the episode, in the opening, Tim is talking about just being blackout drunk, staring at the sun.
Oh shit!
That's a lot of episodes, Max. That's a lot of episodes.
That was like 2 years ago.
I got nothing.
It was The Mummy Returns.
Oh man, what a film!
Yep.
What a film! You can say that again, Preble.
I know. God, what a film!
Kiss her against her will. Still one of the funniest.
Same one.
That's right.
Oh God, wasn't that the Rock's like film debut too?
I think so. Yeah, he's the Scorpion King in that.
God, dude, just as big as ever.
Say a fucking word the entire movie.
Yeah, he hasn't talked.
No, he just yelled.
The worst CGI of any movie ever. Holy shit! It was bad even back then.
Yeah.
Woof. Oh, that was a rough one. Okay, next question. Who was your favorite and least favorite in this?
I'll go.
Go ahead, John.
Oh, mine's Chaucer. There's nothing you can say bad against Chaucer. He was just funny as fuck. My least favorite is Watt. Kind of because he just misfires the entire movie, which is kind of like me. So, there you go.
Good British accent.
You hate yourself.
I do.
Alan Tunyk's from Texas. He has he sounded just like everybody else in the movie. You would never guess it.
Really? He's from Texas, huh?
Yeah.
They still have gingers in Texas?
I think his hair is dyed.
It was very dyed. He might kind of be a ginger, but I mean, like, for this movie, it was really over the top.
He was a ginger in Dodgeball.
That's true.
That's true. I would say I got to agree. Chaucer was my favorite. Like playing a hype man in the 14th century. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. He was so good. I'm going to say Jocelyn was my least favorite just because she made Will lose. I fucking hated that scene, and I hated her from that point on in the movie, basically.
Fuck out here, Yoko.
Yeah, exactly.
Self-sabotaging, great man.
I want to say Roland was my favorite because fuck you guys. A fat person needs some love in this goddamn movie. Everyone else was so skinny in this. God, skinny and beautiful. Fuck you. My least favorite was what's his name? The Count. Adamar.
Chocula.
Count Dracula. Yeah. First of all, listen. Your brunette curls don't fool me, bro. Okay? I know everything about you. That's all I got to say.
Are you talking to me, Tim? Or John?
This feels like an attack on Max.
You were demonstrating the camera.
Yes.
Oh God! What does he know that I don't?
Let me pick you out.
Listen to me, you son of a bitch.
Let me pick you, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I see right through you.
Tim, on that note, I'm going to go the opposite. I loved Count Adamar was my favorite. I loved him. He was just like, listen, I love Rufus Sewell. He does a bunch of good stuff in other movies. He's just like, yeah, I'm amazing. Like, I'm good at what I do. I hurt people in real life. That's what real men do. So I liked him. I liked him. He's like kind of my favorite. And my least favorite, I got to say Jocelyn. She's just like fucking... He's like, oh, I'm a fox, and that's all they'll be, and Mr. Hunter, and he's just like, no, I just like you. Like, what's your name? She's like, no, don't know that. It's like, just what is your name? God, fuck you. Like, why are you leading me to a church so I'm going to get in trouble? Why are you making me lose? Why are you making me hurt? Like, literally, you're physically going to die on purpose. God, get that lady out of here.
And then she goes, because it's the 1300s and I'm 12.
I'm actually 9 years old. Oh, okay.
I'm legally binded by God to not tell you my name.
Exactly. And I'm about to be effectively sold by my dad to this random stranger I've never met.
Well,
Okay,
it's better than being a nun.
Yeah. Best of luck.
At least I will get that sweet, sweet dick once in my life.
Yeah, that unwashed, uncut dick. Yeah,
yeah. They needed Manscaped back then, real bad.
Medical dick, get some Manscaped.
This is good. I like this. Keep going.
I can't wait till they email you, Max, and say we're no longer going to sponsor.
Cease and desist using our name.
That is a given. Like, to which I'll say, hey, you guys fucking reached out to me, all right?
Yeah.
No. You listen to this podcast, right? You have an understanding who we are.
Biggest camping chooses. Manscaped.
We need you to send back the lawnmowers, but we used them. Yeah, send them back anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. You take this.
Oh, no.
I mean, I've really used mine, though.
You don't even know. I shaved my dog's balls with them, too.
I was going to say, I shaved my dog with it.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure federally, Bill would have to write a contract for Clean Harbors to come pick up my lawnmower 4.0.
That's a hazard.
That's hazardous waste that needs to be disposed of by professionals.
Speaking of dysentery.
I've so desperately wanted to have a clean shaven butt. It took so much of the lawnmower's power. I just want to look like the boys in the movies.
I just want my butt to look like the boys in the movies. My favorite, I'm going to say, is Roland. Just ideal sidekick for a movie. Super loyal, selfless, but he also isn't afraid to like throw some verbal jabs at you if you're being a cunt. And I guess my least favorite, really, you guys didn't think I liked this movie, but there really wasn't a lot to complain about. Like, the acting was good in this. Like, there wasn't anybody that really stood out as bad. I think I would just say, what's his name though? Adamar. Just because he was like a watered down Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator. Like, there's several scenes in which I was like, when he was in the prison, I was just waiting for him to stab him. And instead, he starts to cry, and then he leaves.
He just starts to cry.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, a little weird.
I will say, even though I see he still is my favorite character, Max, I did realize, I'm like, wow, this actually is just like this is like the 1,000 years later, this is just Gladiator.
Yeah.
At a point where he's just like, oh, you bitch boy, like you took the girl I like, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, is he going to actually hurt him? I don't remember this part. Like, oh, never mind. But
underrated offense, by the way. I love bitch boy. Just the alliteration of that.
Ew.
Hey, you little bitch boy. I spit on my mic. Okay, time for the Hold My Popcorn ratings. Prepare to be judged. What's your rating for The Knight's Tale? Or A Knight's Tale, excuse me.
I'm going to give this 5 large fist dildos inside of Drew Carey.
I bet you he could take them, every single one of them.
I bet he could too.
Yeah.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. The dildo just going
up. I'll give this 3,426 broken lances out of the 67 horses that were probably euthanized in the making of this one.
More horse meat, my lord.
Well, this is the Czech Republic. The loose horse labor laws.
We don't need to be eating these horses. This is 2001 in Prague. We really, come on. I'm in a 5-star hotel. I'm fucking Heather Graham. I don't need horse meat.
I'm going to give this movie, kind of following along with Bill, I'm going to give this movie 5 of Drew Carey's best lines out of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Out of 3 of Drew Carey's worst lines in Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Perfect rating. Nailed it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I guess I'll go next, and I'm just going to give this 2 of the flattest titties of all time. Over 888 pounds of uncooked pasta flying out of an innumerable number of balsa wood lances.
Oh, God. I'm going to give this 23. The number 23, which, of course, is Drew Carey's best movie.
Have you actually? I've never seen any of his movies.
No, it's a Jim Carrey movie.
Oh fuck! All right,
directed by the guy who directed the bad Batman movies.
John's sitting there like, I don't think Drew Carey was in any of these.
I don't think Drew Carey's ever been in a movie. I'll give it that out of one Paul Bettany toe suck.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay Paul Bettany to suck my toes.
On day one, naked.
I'd pay that Marvel guy, whatever his name is, Vision. To suck my toe. There you go.
Suck my toes any day, Vision.
Yeah, right, Vision.
Man, Elizabeth Olsen sure is lucky for all the toe sucking she must get on a regular basis.
Guys, don't talk about the Scarlet Witch that way. That's just wrong. Come on.
Sir, I can't suck your toes anymore. You don't have any. Just suck it, Paul.
Suck the nose.
Completely out of
Suck
character.
the nose.
Get to the bone. To the bone.
To the bone ball. Oh, that's all I got. I don't think we have any social media shout-outs or anything, do we?
No, we don't have anything at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Any last comments?
Yes. So you guys are knocking her tits in this movie, and I just got to say, this scene here.
Dude, no, okay, I'm with Bill.
All right.
Bill,
I'm with
has
Bill.
just been
Yeah.
screenshotting titties, haven't you?
High five, Bill.
I see all those browsers.
High five. No, totally in it.
Tits,
totally
and I
in
see tits, and I see tits. I see all these browsers open up here.
I was going to say.
Get off my screen. Get out of here, Max. Unbelievable.
Also, underrated was her lady friend.
Agreed.
She's just fucking
Oh,
smoke
Christiana?
show, yeah. It's funny enough. So she was she got nominated for an Oscar for what was that silent film movie? What the fuck was that called?
The Artist? Or?
The Artist. Yeah, she's like the wife in The Artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I looked, I'm like, who is she? Like, why hasn't she done anything else? Like, oh no, she got nominated for an Oscar.
Max, yeah. Max later going on to the celebrityarchive.com or whatever.
They both have the same hair and skin and eyes. I mean, that's what I'm all about. So they're both brown.
Research. That's true.
Got my attention.
Best in the biz.
I do have
Max,
one
fucking
comment.
bloodhound over here. Huh?
I do have one comment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've had to take a shit for the last 30 minutes. So I think I'm going to go take a shit right now.
All right, let's wrap up the episode before Tim dies of dysentery. So that's the episode. Manscaped. Shave your asshole so all the poop comes out.
They don't have these problems Tim's having right now. I'm going to cut a hole in his seat.
Just tears through that asshole so you can get optimal pooping degree.
Optimal poop velocity.
The highest radius in circumference of poop. Manscaped. Poop. Okay, that's
I am
episode.
gonna hop off,
Yep, we're ending.
Jason Smuckers.
Well, best of luck out there, Tim.
Good night.
Thanks, fellas. I'll let you know how it goes.
I'll let you guys know next week when I get out of the bathroom.
He's out of here.
I thought that's what he was going to do earlier when he just left the room real quick. I was like, gotta take a shit.
Oh, we all taking a break now because Tim's gonna. Like, no,
Yeah.
never mind.
I'll be right
I've
back.
seen that waddle before. That's the same waddle that I do. It's like, like nope.
Oh God.
Tim was running like Drew Carey at the end of the Drew Carey show when he's just doing his little parade in front of Cleveland.
Yeah, that's right. He's running like that with a bunch of dildos shoved up his ass. There you go. Perfectly done.
Indeed. Okay. Fun times.
All right, fellas.
Appreciate you guys coming
perfect.
See you, gents.
Well, thank you for having us. I have to talk about this.
Boy.
on. Anytime.
boy.
Historical inaccuracies are always a surefire way to get me on board.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It looks like it just stopped recording when I plugged in.
Oh, God.
When I plugged in the microphone, because it only says it's 8 minutes and 11 seconds. It didn't have it had like the stop button up the whole time, but I guess the timer wasn't running.
Son of a bitch.
You piece of shit.
That's all right.
That's Tim's thing.
That's Tim's thing, not yours.
That's Tim's fucking thing, not recording. How
We
dare
didn't
you?
even have a guest tonight.
Listen, it's my thing to have audio issues when we have a guest, and it's Tim's thing for him not to record. All right, you guys are all supposed to be flawless. I'm not paying you top dollar to fuck up.
I'm so sorry.